I'm Vin.
I'm Sori.
That's Booby.
And Vina and Chip and Culpy.
Yeah.
What?
Not really as happy about winning the Super Bowl as I thought I'd be.
Yeah.
I just think it just happens so much with New England, and I'm not being funny. It just so happened so much with New England, and there was really nothing really on the line. It's not like Brady's legacy was on the line or anything like that.
Yeah.
There was no like giant comeback.
Well, it wasn't an exciting game anyway.
Well, it was a tense game because anytime you have a low-scoring game, you pretty much know whoever scores the touchdown first is going to win the game. So it carries a lot. That carries a lot of tension.
Yeah, but it's more fun when, oh my gosh, they scored. Oh my gosh, we scored. Ah! And back and forth.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a fan of football, so like football fans loved the game yesterday. As far as like excitement goes, this was like the most exciting game for me because like with Kansas City when they were scoring, you just assume Brady's going to come back and score because that's the type of game it was. But you really didn't know if you just assumed that the Rams are going to break out at some point. And so I just thought, man, if they score, I'm not very confident Brady's going to be able to just march down the field and score like, you know, easily as he did to the whole postseason. So, you know, but you've got to be a football fan. If you're a casual watcher, you know, the Rams versus the Chiefs was like the best game of the year when they scored like 50 points each. And they were just slinging it down the field.
Yeah.
And it was like, that was the most entertaining game because it was offense.
Right.
But for a defensive-minded person, this one wasn't entertaining. It was tense. But I don't know. Like I said, it happens so much. It's the same thing with New York, you know. Like, I was in New York when the Yankees were killing everybody, Jeter and everything. And the first one, you're like, yeah. The second one, yeah. And now it's like, oh, okay, we get to cut school because we get to go to the parade.
Oh, yeah.
Giuliani said that we could go to the parade, so the cops would leave us, the truant officers would leave us alone. You know, but anyway, Patreon pick, the Ghost
We've
that used
never
to
heard
be.
this band, right?
PALLBEARER? No, I've never heard of them.
The
I
Ghost
guess
that used to be.
they're a doom band from
Little Rock, Arkansas.
Arkansas. So this is like the perennial Patreon pick band because if it wasn't for Patreon,
It wouldn't happen.
there's no way these guys would get enough votes. But which group is this?
Epic Underground.
Epic Underground decided.
The
Epic Underground. I don't know who's heading up the Epic Underground.
Why do I always think that's Culp?
No, Culp is Sin and Glory. But anyway, so if you're a fan of doom metal and all that, the Epic Underground is the Patreon group for you.
Yep.
Because there we are. All right, so PALLBEARER.
Oh, check out my channel, My Story Life. I'm uploading the stuff from NAMM, and also we had a surprising event that took place while we were in NAMM, and that one is going to be uploaded.
That's right.
I think tomorrow if I get a chance to finish editing it tonight.
Historic. It was a historic event. For sure.
It was.
All right. Well, and if Trump does anything, it'll be uploaded on Middle America, Vin and Sori. The Ghost I Used to Be. Go!
Go.
sucker for melody right now with instruments.
Yeah, that was beautiful.
Yo, that song that we listened to for the main stage song, the Guns N' Roses joint.
Yeah, what about it?
I forgot the name of the song. Yo, apparently that video has like 1 billion views, literally. The video for the song that we listened to earlier.
Yeah.
Apparently it's like one of their most popular songs ever.
Oh, really? Wow.
And once again, we prove we don't know a damn thing about metal or hard rock.
Why?
Because we're like, oh, maybe this is like the underground song of theirs or whatever.
Oh.
It's like, it's got 1 billion views on YouTube.
November Rain.
Yeah. That's probably more views than the Welcome to the Jungle song, which is what I know them from.
Oh, well.
So it's like, I was like, oh yeah, maybe like these are the hardcore fans now. Everybody and their mother.
Don't say we. I never claimed to know
8
anything
billion
about
people
it.
on the planet have been seen
I
a
was
billion
sitting
times.
there getting schooled by someone who didn't know. Why is your shirt on backwards?
It's hilarious. I don't know.
Did you put a new scent on?
No, it's just victory.
It smells nice on you.
It's a scent of victory.
I really liked this.
Yeah, but this song is this is like the perfect like diamond in the rough type of song that would never get, even if we did like a hardcore underground show, this seems to be a very regional band. I guess they're from Arkansas.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't have gotten anywhere near the type of votes that would be necessary.
What do you see yourself doing when this is playing? Like, what's the perfect position to be in when you're listening to this?
It's just like with McGaw and anything. I like being in a dark room with one candle.
Yep.
Dark room with one candle, sitting back, contemplating life.
Yep. I'm laying there, looking at the ceiling, and the room is dimly lit.
Yep.
I guess there could be one candle.
Yeah. There's something very...
How can we never do that? Or do you have to be alone when you do that?
Yeah, I'd have to be alone. There's something very intoxicating about being morose sometimes.
Being what?
Morose, being depressed or sad. Or,
there's something
about something
it?
intoxicating about
Yep.
it. It's a
unfortunately.
It's a strange thing. And I hate even saying it because it's very difficult to even explain to people like what I mean by
without it sounding really destructive.
Yeah, and I don't want to romanticize that stuff, but as a person who's dealt with it my entire life, there's sometimes when you're like depressed and you're like, oh my god, this is like a heavy, terrible weight of burden, but there are certain types of like emotional places that you can go to if you're in that kind of space.
Yeah.
That it's a different type of good feeling, especially like as a Christian. It's been a lot of my spirituality sometimes. It's like working in that type of space. But it's kind of weird because you can never stay in the good part of depression.
No.
But this stuff is
perfect for that space.
Yeah, when I was in high school, like right before I really had my meltdown and had to go away, like I would go downstairs and listen to. There was a lot of what do you call it? System of a Down.
Yep.
The big one. Trust in myself. Chop Suey. I just sit there. All the lights were off, and the only light on was a computer light, and then I just sit there and listen to that. Of course, my mom was not very pleased, but she didn't know what was she gonna do.
Right.
What was she gonna do? Good Lord.
Honestly.
So, if I'd have discovered this band, they would have been on the playlist for sure. I thought there was another doom metal band that we listened to, and it was like this. Remember the story of the old beggar or whatever, and then somebody helped him, and yada yada yada.
Oh yeah.
That was like a mega slow song. This was a little bit more like toward the end, it definitely slowed down.
Yeah.
But this was more fast paced, and I was like, this doesn't really. I mean, I guess the doom genre is kind of bigger than just, whatever.
Yep.
So, all right, what did you think he was saying in the song?
Oh. I mean, I don't know when he was talking about the ghost he used to be, but he doesn't change from that position because at the very end he said, I don't know. Leave behind a glowing husk, the ghost that I that I become again, glides back into the dusk alone. So, like, I think that, I don't know, he's just dealing with parts of himself.
It looks like he made some sort of decision that he's regretting now. Because he says something like, right here.
I love this part.
Fading eyes, no paths I see now. I become the ghost I used to be. Why is that?
Just the way he was saying, fading eyes. No paths I see now. And then this part when I searched throughout the void. I chose this part.
Yeah.
I was like, what?
Yeah.
Turn that up.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. Like, I think he made some sort of choice, and he's bothered by it. And underneath, he says the burden of regret, right? Mm-hmm. So it looks like he made some decision that left him in a lonely state, and he's upset about it now.
Did you notice that it talked about relics at the beginning?
Yeah.
All relics of the paths.
That I have followed to dead ends.
Or a relic just means like an old artifact? Or is it a religious artifact?
It's a religious artifact, and it's usually associated with like the dead. So like, oh, this is a finger of Saint Justinia, and oh, you have her finger, and like people like make this big giant. Yeah. So a relic is kind of like a spooky sort of artifact that, you know. But what here he's talking about strange shards of all the relics of the past that I have followed to dead ends.
So he's in search of something, and he's following the relics of the past to find something. Maybe it's himself.
Well, it's a brilliant play on words, right? Because relics usually have to do with the dead.
Yeah.
And then I have followed to dead ends. Yeah. So that's pretty smart writing.
Yep.
But yeah, he's trying to get back to some sort of place, or trying to achieve some sort of place.
But those shards, sorry.
No, go.
Those shards, strange shards, all relics of the paths. So the things that he's following to get back there are embedded in wounds, all doors into the past.
They've barred themselves, but scars have failed, torn open far too soon.
So, it's obviously very painful.
This guy can write his ass off.
I know.
That's number one.
It was had that, like, kind of...
There's some songs where like the music, like I felt like that. What was the name of it? The Guns N' Roses song.
November Rain.
I felt like the musician.
That's such a title.
I felt like the musicianship really carried that song. And maybe the background singing, but you know, I don't really think the lyrics really carried that song. Like I wasn't like.
Oh yeah, no, it wasn't like.
It was very, very close to human nature. This one though was mega poetic though.
Yeah.
Embed in wounds, all doors into the past. They've barred themselves, but scarred have failed. You know, obviously, as somebody who's done the self-harm thing, that's pretty. That's a pretty potent. Set of lines there.
Yeah.
You know, because it's true. Each one that I have is kind of relative to a certain type of past that I had. That I think now looking back, I've been able to make peace with it. You know. I've been really able to make peace. I've been really able to make peace with that, version of myself and what got me there and all the rest of it. But if you haven't, then it's a terrible reminder. With the shards transform, and with time, the shards transform to keys fit for lowest depths, unlock truths to reveal. Sharp and fine, the keys all sink within. My time has come, accepting fate, light disappears again. I think it was Lewis who talks about like hell being folded within yourself and not being able to get out of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, Lewis's understanding of hell was like, being trapped, like a completely selfish person becoming ever and increasingly more selfish.
Oh gosh.
And not selfish in the sense that you have 2 Twix bars and you don't give one to your friends, but like self-ish or self-centered, where everything is like about the self and you're like constantly turning inward. So
that's a lonely place to be.
Well, yeah, but the keys all sink within. The shards transform to keys fit for the lowest depths. Like he's going into deeper depths of himself, and
and it's like he's finding like it says unlock truths to reveal sharp and fine. Like it seems like these keys are bringing him deep within himself. Like they're very they're accomplishing what they need to accomplish.
Right.
He's able to find that path, but
it's within himself.
It's within himself, and light disappears again. So it's not a good place.
Yeah.
Even though he can easily get there.
Well, it's very interesting, you know, like in fairy tales or like inspirational quotes, it's always like, look for the answer within yourself. And all this other, you know, like.
Yeah.
And I don't think that that's true. I don't think you can find the answer within yourself. You know, this is a hot take. Like, you cannot find the answer within yourself. If you find the answer within yourself, you're bound to fail. Because, you know, like right from birth, it's been clear. Like, can you imagine telling a baby, like, the baby's like, ah! And you go to the baby, hey, stop crying, little man. The answer's within yourself.
Oh, yeah.
No, it's not. The answer's with mom or dad.
Right,
it's
mom.
Not,
That's good. No, let's leave it there.
It's not within yourself, you know. And as you grow older, I mean, there is a degree to which you should be self-sufficient. I get it, but I think what metal is teaching us is that the more a person like goes within themselves to find the answers, you find a void.
Yeah.
I don't think
and
that
darkness.
Yeah. There's a lot of darkness, inside of the human soul. And a lot of, you know, the search for meaning is not ended when you're able to look within yourself. And actually, of course, as Christians, we're gonna say the answer is outside of ourselves and into God. Mm-hmm. But I think the most significant times people have not been, you know, by themselves. Like if you went to a rock show and you had a significant moment, or you had a significant moment with your best friend or with your dad or your mom, like. I've never heard a person say, I was by myself and my best friend was myself. Mm-hmm. And it was most of the time, if a person says that they are their own best friend, that's a tragic thing. Mm-hmm. Everybody understands that to be a tragic thing. And even if you go into some mountain or something and you have some esoteric experience with God, it's still not with yourself.
Right.
You're still, you know, meditating or whatever to connect to something outside of yourself.
Right.
So... You know, I just think that this song is kind of like this dude put himself in a situation where he was his own ultimate answer, I think. And I think that what he discovered was within himself was a giant void.
It's crazy because when he first starts searching, it's a very painful experience, and then it becomes easy to get down in those depths, you know?
Yeah, it's interesting that...
That's why he says, I searched throughout the void. Yeah, the void is deep within himself.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So when fires all burn cold, brilliant line, leave behind a glowing husk the ghost that I become again.
Wait, honey, I didn't know what this word meant. Right there.
A specter is like a ghost.
Oh.
A specter is a ghost. And with a spectral breath, I'm begging to be free. Which is an ironic, again, another use of irony, because ghosts don't breathe per se.
Right.
But he's still in this world as a human that can breathe, but he feels spiritually that he's a ghost.
But you always see the ghosts breathing icy.
Yeah.
What?
No.
They don't actually need it for life, is what you're saying. It's just something that they do.
Well, I just think it's an effect to say that, you know, usually breath is warm, but when they breathe, it's cold, because it indicates that they're on the other side.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That they're among the dead. But if you literalize it and take it, you know, quote unquote scientifically, a ghost doesn't breathe, right?
Right.
Because he's not functioning on the physical.
Yeah.
On the physical plane, which of course, you know, when the Bible says that we're spiritually dead, that's what it means. You know, when you're talking about, you know, a person is dead and then they're alive again or being born again or whatever you want to call it, that's what it's talking about. It's talking about this common experience that all of us feel about this glaring emptiness that we all have that we can't put our fingers on. And so the Bible's like, yeah, that's your spirit and you're spiritually dead. You realize that you're alive, but you're not alive. So, you know, however people want to characterize it, when he says, I'm a ghost, he's saying there's some part of him that is dead, which of course I'm the ghost I used to be. So, there we are. Good song.
That's another one of those like twisty things, the ghost I used to be,
Right.
because he's become something ghostly,
Right.
but yet he remembers what he used to be, and he calls that a ghost too. And just
Right.
interesting.
Right. It's deeper degrees of death.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think
yeah.
is what he's trying to communicate.
Interesting song though. I really enjoyed it. It's right up there for me. 9.6.
Yeah, let's give a good solid 9. It's a good solid 9 for sure. I like how it started off with the instrumental sort of melody. It started right from the beginning and didn't really stray from that, and I liked it. It was good. Good solid 9. I like this guy. He's a good writer. I hope we inject some more PALLBEARER fans into
Yeah, I know. Did you see one of these songs? It's called Watcher in the Dark.
Yeah, that should be interesting.
Yeah.
So, let's see. All right. Vin out.
Sori out.
Gone.